Please, no more dog isekai. It's not, okay? This is not dog isekai. I don't think I've been very, like, hidden about the fact that I'm pretty obsessed with the Oshi no Ko anime. This is actually a video for when it like came out as a manga, and I wanted to watch it because I didn't watch it when he originally put it out. So I don't think this has spoilers in it, because anytime he's gone over manga, it's usually from like a really high perspective. We're not gonna have to deal with dog anime. Everything's fine, I hope.
This video is sponsored by Girl Cafe Gun. People, but what is it like behind all the lights and glamour? How much of what we're shown is based on lies and deceit? And what is it like to be one of these celebrities? Does your favorite girl really love you?
No.
Well, of course she doesn't, you delusional twat. Oshinoko is a manga that explores these exact topics. Now, for the longest time, I was one of those anime fans that would get confused whenever a new show would be announced, and all these manga readers would scurry out and be hyped about it. But now, being in Japan, getting exposure to the hottest new titles, I think I finally found one. Oshinoko is a series where it's only a matter of time before this gets licensed, and it is too good to not get an anime adaptation eventually. And I'm just happy.
Now we live in this reality where it's here. This anime, I know it's probably like overly hyped to some people. God, how did I talk about this without spoiling? I really like idol animes generally, but this does something different with it, is the best way to put it. I really like stuff that deals with like talking about like the mechanics of particular industries. Like a good example of that is like, I know Spice and Wolf kind of goes into like economics. There's also Demon like Girl like goes around giving like advice to like particular like parts of like some fantasy world, and like fixes like issues with like economics and stuff like that. Like that feels like it somewhat falls into that vein, but like with real life people interacting with each other and seeing how that kind of stuff, the mechanics of that stuff goes. Maoyu? Yeah, that one. It has the same VAs for Hollow and Lawrence. Yeah.
Happy to be on the other side of the fence for once for that. So I just wanted to talk about this a bit today. But before we get onto this series, I just wanted to talk about today's sponsor, Girl Cafe Gun. Let me tell you about Girl Cafe Gun.
It had the same VAs for Hollow and Lawrence, though. Guns. Yeah, it was like super comparable to Spice and Wolf. Like, obviously, it's not exactly the same, but like,
is a new action RPG that
it's along that vein.
Third-person shooter gameplay with
and I know this is like set in the real world, and it doesn't
absolutely great.
Doesn't necessarily resolve
gameplay, which resembles
like those kind of things, and it's more of like a
test your reflexes and mechanics, but you also need to manage your team comps and strategies going into different stages.
It's more like showing
we all know the real reason we're here.
Parts of industries.
All these amazing girls you can collect with a diverse bonding system to get.
There's a farming anime school. I've seen that one too.
And don't forget,
I've seen that one too.
To run your own virtual cafe with them as well. It's a game that combines.
Oh my god, that was like super early.
Systems,
like,
but you know what? It's like they cherry-picked
live
all
2D.
the little things I look for and put them into one game. You'll be dodging bullets one moment and then patting your waifu's head the next.
What was the school anime
really,
that I watched?
What more can you ask for?
SC published an Isekai lore manga a few years back.
Link in the description to try it out today.
Yeah, I guess I really like stuff that like goes into like real world
to Girl Cafe Gun for sponsoring today's video, and with
stuff and goes into detail about it like that.
It's one of those titles that is worth giving a chance.
Sorry, I'm gonna pause it one more time. The reason is because like this one aligns a bit more to me, because I've had like this eerie like fascination with entertainment stuff, be it like streamers or like other industries, and like how like marketing and all this kind of stuff works. That's why I like kind of talk about it when it comes to like video games. It's like it's somewhat like interests me, even though I'm not necessarily in that industry. I guess as a streamer it kind of falls in line, but they even cooked a pig. Oh my god.
Just because of the names behind it, coming from the same artist that did Scum's Wish, written by the mangaka of Kaguya-sama. Because
what the fuck? I didn't know it was by Kaguya-sama.
Kaguya-sama doing a weekly serialized manga, which is famous for pushing many artists to their limits, Aka Akasaka was just like, let's start another one. But despite the names behind it, you wouldn't be able to get what this manga is about just by reading the synopsis or the beginning. I mean, this was my experience reading chapter 1. Okay, so we've got some idol story here, that's cool, and what the fuck? Gynecologist? What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Teen pregnancy? What the fuck? He's already dead? What the fuck? He's the baby now? What? Yeah, you heard that right. The main character is an idol-obsessed gynecologist who finds out that his favorite idol...
Oh my god. Thank you for the raid, Rory. I'm kind of different in that I kind of want my anime detached from IRL. I do like having fantasy in the sense of like isekai and like very, very detached stories, and like you're like in another world, or like it has nothing to do with reality, even with like isekai, like just pure fantasy stories. But I still want stories that are based somewhat in reality, that like sometimes those hit different. I guess I like a story kind of like that can kind of teach you something about industries and stuff like that. It's just, or like I said, economics when it came to like Spice and Wolf and stuff like that. Is it like perfect and like accurate? Sometimes it's not, but I think it's like interesting to like see stuff like that be resolved or learn about something like that. Some stuff's fun with real stakes. Yeah, that too. You should watch One Piece. No.
is pregnant, promises he's gonna deliver the baby, then gets fucking murdered by one of her obsessed fans, and then gets reborn as a fucking baby. I say again, what the fuck? I thought I was getting some idol manga, then by the end of chapter 1 I had enough physical whiplash to give me neck problems. But then the babies have memories of their past life, and then they can talk, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Mushoku Tensei?
It's a little more spoiler than I thought it was gonna be.
Did I just stumble upon some fucking idol isekai? But trust me when I say this.
It's all at the beginning though. Oh my god, you can't spell isekai without kai in it. Holy shit, true. It's right at the beginning though.
Doesn't really have much to do with what the series is actually about. Well, kinda. It's hard to explain. There is a major subplot I don't want to spoil, but the premise basically just gives
the first episode is an hour and a half long.
Son, Aqua, to become an actor and follow in his mother's footsteps, and starting his journey into the twisted world of show business. It's an unfiltered look at the Japanese entertainment industry from the eyes of the people working behind it. It's raw, it's real, and oftentimes it can get pretty dark, resulting in what I think is one of the most promising titles to be released in recent years. If anyone was a big fan of Act Age and, like me, was severely disappointed in what happens, then in many ways Oshinoko is my spiritual successor, showing people in the acting field, breaking down the talents and commitment it takes to be a successful actor. But unlike Act Age, this series isn't just limited to acting. Idols, reality shows, TV dramas, stage plays. The series takes you on a journey through the underbelly, behind the scenes of the Japanese entertainment industry.
See, this is the stuff that I kind of like have a twisted way. Like I know this stuff is like dark, like, and there's like fucked up shit about like the idol industry and like entertainment industry in general, but that doesn't still mean that I don't like stories that like tell you about that stuff and like deal with characters that are like going through it. At least it's like done from the perspective that not everything is fake. I mean, sorry, it is all fake, and that's what it's teaching you. It's teaching you that like the bullshit that's behind it. Like I that's the part I like. On the surface, obviously it looks like it's all happy sunshine rainbows, but like learning all the dark parts of this kind of shit and like having characters that kind of go through that and you learn about it through that's interesting to me, even though it's fucked up. Like there's plenty of stories that are like fucked up that we enjoy, right? But I like seeing the dark side of these things and like the kind of interpretation of that for a character to go through it. Kai, when are you gonna release your breakout album? Oh my god. Makes sense. Kai quit the idol industry. Okay. This hit, okay, when I was watching this is kind of hit something, okay? Like with this. And let me explain why. When I started as a streamer, I just did it to stream for stream's sake. When I got to a certain point, something clicked in my head that I wanted to be more enthusiastic or be more like positive in some sense and not go in like this very negative direction and try and like be very, I was trying to be like more entertaining. When even if I had like a bad day, I wouldn't let it show. When I was on stream, I would just push through it and like I was being fake. This anime actually delves into that. It's like you're lying to your audience that you're okay and you're hiding all of that. And I tried my best early on to do that kind of thing. And so it kind of aligned with the idol outfit. But to me, that's not me. And I don't want that. That's why I changed things. That's why I don't use that outfit anymore. It had like this bad connotation in my mind for at least me. And I use it like in the sense of because I still like it. I'm not going to show you guys when I have a bad day for the most part. But I think I was at one point trying to be more positive than I actually was at one point. Kai's not a lie. Kai's real. I think streamers in general do this. It's not like this is like, I can't sing and dance. I knew it. Exactly. If you want to be positive, you have to pitch your voice higher. Okay. Okay, hon. Am I talking better now? Do you want me to talk like this all the time? Is this the type of cat girl streamer that you've always wanted to listen to? Welcome to my stream, guys. Is that what you want, Omar? I love it so much. Don't you have a great time here? Kai's dying inside? No, I'm not dying inside. This is exactly how I always am. What do you mean? You need to sound squeaky, like a squeaky toy. Oh. Okay, sorry.
You mean like this? Is this it? This is the squeaky toy. Is this peak? It's the real voice, yeah.
And shows you what it means to be the people behind the camera, up on that stage with hundreds or thousands of people cheering you on, what it takes to get there and the effect it can have on any individual who finds themselves in that position. The manga doesn't pull any punches when it comes to its depiction of the modern entertainment landscape. Not to say it's all doom and gloom, I mean, come on, it's coming from the same author as Kaguya-sama, but it doesn't shy away with just showing things for what they are. The series literally starts off dismantling the idol industry, openly embracing the entire industry as a facade, a fake image sold by how talented the stars on stage are at being liars. Ai Hoshino's whole existence is in a world of lies. Her lies to her audience is her form of love. It is a lie we buy into, and not only does the series straight up tell you that, but it can celebrate it as well, no matter what sector of entertainment.
This is why I like this. I like that it's not straying away from reality in like how things actually are. And I'm fine with it like actually just blatantly like putting it in your face that that's how things are. Even if we know how it is, telling a story from that perspective where it's like being pretty real with you with how things are, that's why I like it. As opposed to telling some just like happy fucking story.
It explores, it never stops reminding you that show business is a show business. Everything is deception, everything is marketable, everything can become a commodity. But underneath the surface, the real strength in the series is Aka Akasaka's ability to write sympathetic characters. Behind the fame and glamour are real people, people that have to live in this world of deception, people who have to deal with the pressures of being constantly judged, not only by their audience, but the industry they work in. What I love is that, aside from maybe the main character, how human everyone feels. Everyone has all these little insecurities and anxieties that you can relate to, and these only get enhanced by working in the entertainment industry. To say that entering the cutthroat world of show business won't be detrimental to your mental health is a bit like saying entering the JoJo fandom will leave you with an unsucked dick.
What the fuck?
And the manga doesn't pull any punches when exploring the effects of this industry on the talent's mental health. It humanizes these inhuman idols. It makes you see the twisted world they have to live in. And one thing that impressed me the most was that it did it in a way that's all the more relevant right now. Traditional celebrity culture.
When you have so many eyes on you and you're trying to reach perfection in something like this, there is no way you don't have some level of depression that creeps in at some point, especially when you don't meet what you're expecting. If you hit absolute highs and then go to absolute lows, there is no way that that does not affect you. Maybe you're an inhuman and you have a great mental strength. I think that makes, if you deal with that in a story, it makes it feel more real too. Because I've watched Love Live a lot. It doesn't really hit that kind of stuff. At least the earlier ones didn't. I haven't watched one of the latest Love Lives, but it didn't really get too much into this kind of stuff. And that's why I like this one a lot more, is it feels so much more based in reality. Should have just became a VTuber so you can just quit and never have stalkers IRL. You can still have stalkers online. It's not like that's not possible, because that is definitely possible.
Culture has thankfully been on the decline in recent years. We can all see that they are all also human. Some of them have flaws, and a lot of them are very, very out of touch with the current times. And we can all agree that paparazzis are below dung beetles in the social hierarchy. Alright, maybe that was a bit harsh. Dung beetles are actually good for the environment. But in the place of that has been the rise of the social media celebrity. Before, celebrity figures might have felt like they were up on this pedestal, untouchable and unreachable. But now, some of the most influential figures have never been more relatable, more seemingly in reach. And thankfully, the author seems to be very in touch with the modern landscape, because social media plays a massive part in many of these stories.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised when I saw stories about people trying to become successful YouTubers and Instagrams and TikToks, because I was like, yeah, now you're coming in my neck of the woods. It was surreal seeing a manga that was basically centered around my career and industry, and coming from the inside.
See, this is why this just goes in farther and why I'm interested in it. Even if I'm not like massively like successful, I would say stream industry stuff, like I love listening to this kind of stuff. So it hit just the perfect spot for me. The manga does eventually cross over to VTubers, but I don't think the anime will reach that point in season 1. Oh, it does? Really? Do you have stalkers, Kai? I don't know if I do. If I do, that scares me. I don't know how they would stalk me outside of like maybe in 14.
Seeing these stories based around influences and their culture, it does a fucking great job. All right, I'm about to go on a tangent that doesn't seem like it has anything.
Wait, what's hella spoilers? That it goes into VTubers? I don't feel like that's a spoiler. It's like an obscure like concept. Maybe my idea of spoilers is obviously different. So like my idea of spoilers tends to be like major plot points that like are involving the characters and what they experience. Key points like of like topics they go through within the story, that doesn't feel like a spoiler to me. That's like more high concept, like, oh yeah, they're gonna hit this part of the entertainment industry, or this part of streaming, this part of like social media, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't agree with that, but I mean, that obviously, what's a spoiler to each person is different.
To do with anything, but trust me, I do have a point, and it does relate back to this fucking manga. Alright, here's a little secret I really hope won't come back to bite me in the ass in the future by admitting. I often wonder how I would handle getting cancelled. Okay, this is not to fucking say that I sit in front of a mirror rehearsing how to say,
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Nor do I think there's anything I've done which I'm scared is going to get exposed and I'm going to have to apologize about. But as a YouTuber whose career is tied to my online presence and image, cancel culture and how to properly manage that has become a massive factor in my job. It can be something that ends careers, or it can be something that you...
I hate these videos so much. I hate these videos so much. I don't think they're necessary, but I'm sure some like I don't understand the point in these videos, because I feel like it just makes things worse for people. These are so unnecessary. Idols are narcissistic, yes, of course. He needs to apologize for the fact that the dog isekai review, the dog show should be kink shame. Oh my god. It's not his fault that the dog anime goes too far, okay? That's on TV. And that shit happens in the dog anime. You can't tell me that's not too far. I mean, I guess it's Japanese TV, so I don't know. Like, maybe that's not too far in Japanese TV.
Brush off and move on from. But regardless, no one is immune to its effect, no matter how much you think someone is uncancelable. Let's talk about apology videos, for example. If you think about it, apology videos should be a simple affair. Someone does something wrong, so they apologize, and then people forgive them. or they don't.
Oh my God.
Nowadays, people getting cancelled and creative apologies have become so commonplace that it's almost become a cliche. Good apologies, bad apologies. Over time, we've been exposed to the entire fucking spectrum, so much so that you can even say that there's even a fucking meta for YouTuber apology videos that we can break down, parody, and sometimes even rank. And that's because
You saw a
apology
dancing
videos
apology?
aren't
Wait, for
about being
dancing?
Sorry. It's about winning back public favor. It's PR. Even if the person is actually sorry. Like, if I had to make an apology video, regardless of if I was being genuine or not, it's actually irrelevant. Because all that's important is about making you believe that I'm being genuine. And unfortunately, being genuine and trying to convince a mass audience that you are being genuine are two entirely different things. Now,
I feel like you should actually be sorry if you're actually gonna make one of these things, because I feel like people are gonna see it for like, maybe people are easily fooled, is probably what I shouldn't say, and that's part of like the trick, right? If you're ever gonna make one of these things, you need to genuinely be fucking sorry, I feel like, because if you don't, I feel like it's gonna slip and you're gonna fuck up.
this may seem like a strange tangent to go on, that may look like I have a weird obsession about the thought of getting cancelled, but that's because I was astonished when I saw Oshi dealing with this exact topic. Not only does it portray what happens when you're just flooded with hate comments that puts you in this self-destructive loop you can't escape from, that gives you this suffocating feeling which I can never truly describe in words to someone who hasn't been in that same position, but it also addresses how fickle public opinion can be and how easily it can sway, and even the tactics and strategies you can use to sway it to your side and game the system. They have a full-on Death Note style breakdown of the mechanics of getting cancelled and how to uncancel yourself, and I was absolutely amazed reading this because some of this stuff was exactly the same stuff I've thought about.
Yeah, that's probably spoilers. That's fair. I'm sorry.
It's because that's just
I'm already
what the
going through with
ecosystem
it, though.
has become. So the biggest compliment I can give is that from someone
It'll be
working
done
on the
in
other side of the industry
5-10 minutes.
is that Oshinoko was pretty spot on with its portrayal. It managed to make a super compelling story arc out of it and made me feel not like a psychopath for thinking this deeply about getting cancelled.
I've made a severe...
This is just one of the story arcs that the manga has dealt with in the many facets of Japanese entertainment, and regardless of if I've been as familiar with them as this example, so far they've all been as equally compelling and, as far as I can tell, as equally well researched. Right now, there are only 5 volumes out in Japan, so it's still very early days, but I only see this growing in strengths. There are so many facets it still could explore. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there was an arc about VTubers in the future, with how much Akane Osaka is in touch with the modern entertainment landscape. Also, for the record, Kanae's best girl. I've claimed her. Back off, weebs. Keep an eye out for this title in the future, because if I was a betting man, this is getting an anime adaptation one day. And yeah,
it's
that's
here.
pretty much all I wanted to say. This is a great manga, so let's just go straight to the outro. Thank you again to Girl Cafe Gun for sponsoring me today. As you can see, I am back in Japan. This video was not pre-recorded at all. I literally started working the moment I landed. You know what? I'm just
Wind never watching the show again. You said you read the premises of it and you didn't like it, Dawn.
I'm taking a break from doing things after I've landed, but I'm gonna be moving next month. I'm planning to change a lot with my studio, upgrading my desk, and possibly
You
doing
should
a new
spoil
background,
My
so
Hero
look forward to
Academia.
that. So yeah, that is my month of October sorted, and I'll hopefully have time to
God.
make videos in between all
Don't
that.
trigger
Until
varsity.
then, though,
Don't trigger
I'm happy to
varsity.
be back. I've been Gigguk, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Deku hurts himself. Oh my god. Midoriya has green hair. Oh god. I don't feel like I was that spoiled by that, because I guess I kind of imagine a lot of that kind of stuff would be in there, but I can definitely see how other people might feel that's more spoilery. I was actually surprised because I've watched just a few of his videos when it comes to like talking about manga, and he usually talks about a pretty high level. So most of that felt like it was pretty high level, but I can definitely see how some people might see that as spoiling. I have been hyped about that show ever since I watched the first episode, and I went out of my way to purchase the manga even. And I haven't been that excited about a show in a very long time. I went out of his way to buy the manga. No, I got the English version. See? I just got the English version. I guess I could technically just read it online, but I like having the... I like when it's something like that I enjoy, having physical. Is it because it's relatable? Kind of. I think so. Kind of. In some level or another, it does feel a little bit that way, but it's also just aligns with my interests either way, not considering it's any level of relatable.